It's Friday, Feedback Friday, the feedbackiest day of the week. It's Feedback Friday, and I'm super tired. It's been a long weekday, month. I don't know. I've lost track. I'm going to focus on the Manly Monday video again. Manly Monday response has been powerful of late. And then I'm going to talk about why I don't talk about gaming stuff like the Kotaku thing anymore. And this is partially thinking maybe, I don't know. I'll say it and then open it up, hear what you guys think. Because I don't know. I'm prepared to be given another perspective. If you like this sort of content, help support this channel. Become a monthly patron, patreon.com/LeannaK, or buy a one-time Leanna Care session for someone who can use it but can't afford it. Coffee.com/LeannaK. I've been talking to the patrons about some stuff with men's groups and the ongoing problem. We're going to be experimenting with some drop-in things. We're going to be doing some polling for times. But I'm going through the rules on GoFundMe to make sure something like this is covered by it. But I think, based on what I've read in the comments and based on what I've talked to certain people, the barrier to entry on that one has to be minimal, because people have to sort of come in and try it and realize it's going to be good. Yeah, because, well, let me get to the comments there. And these are some that a lot of people said the getting criticized for making the attempt to empathize and not guessing right, that bothers them, and you have every right to bother you. One of the things that drives me crazy about stereotypes in the world is this idea that women have it all figured out regarding emotions and communication, and it's just not true. Women are just fucked up in a different way than men, and these are learned skills. And one of the comments I thought was really great was recognizing that men don't get as part of their socialization. There's this idea that certain things that are learned skills are innate just because girls are taught them more than boys. I think more than even that, boys are actively discouraged from it. I work with men, and the things that soothe men, the things that make women feel better, and the things that make men feel better. I'll say to a guy, he's telling me this really rough stuff he's been through. I've been like, what happened to you is bullshit, man. That was just wrong. I probably wouldn't talk to a typical woman that way. That's what I'd prefer. I get really like, when people are like, oh, it wasn't your fault. It's okay. But a lot of women feel very comforted by that. And you say, that was just bullshit. That can be too harsh. And is there a wrong answer or a right answer? No. That's why it's really important that people be able to communicate what they need when asked, right? Or even when not asked. Just, this is what I'm looking for right now. This is what I need right now. And we romanticize mind reading in a way that drives me crazy, because it's not romantic, but it's not. Speaking of that, Song and I are going to experiment with something on Two Women Talking. I'm warning people about it in advance, because it is going to be what's difficult about being a tomboy versus what's difficult about being a girly girl, so that people can see the different paths. And I'm saying this now and I will say it on the show, but I'm saying it now. This is not an attack on anybody. It's just our experience, not a universal one. And that's, where we come to the comment. This one person said, healing can take a long time, especially if the abuse is psychological and emotional, because those are the skills that too many men don't get as part of their socialization. And this should not be read as an indictment of male socialization and judgment that it's beyond salvation. Most men I know are exceptional at problem solving. If they can possibly identify the mechanics of a deficiency, they will absolutely fix it. My experience after being in an abusive marriage is that I'm still recovering 20 plus years later. I consider myself to be reasonably mentally and emotionally resilient, and the woman I left still managed to find and exploit my weaknesses. As I look back on how everything went down, the hardest part of the healing process was forgiving myself for missing the warning signs and not listening to the people in my life who actually had my best interest in mind. Mental scars can run deep and you may not completely heal from them. This is a thing. I have had so many conversations with guys about that. That whole, I miss the signs, and I didn't protect myself, and I am looking for suggestions on how to communicate. If someone takes advantage of your good nature, that is on them. And I say this as someone who had to learn it for myself. And I said to one guy I talked to this week, I wish I could tell you how I did it. And I'm reaching for how I did it. But one day it was a side effect of other things. I eventually realized one day, and there's a bit in the Talmud about grift, about fraud. And it was, a wise man gave money to somebody who turned out it was a scam, that he wasn't really ill, he didn't have a sick kid, all that stuff. And the rabbi just said, well, he really must have needed the money more than I did then. And, the moral of the story is getting taken for a couple bucks is different than selling your soul. Now, a big problem is a big lever of abuse that men suffer. And this is true of everybody. It's just men tend to be expected to be more active in society. And the through line of the men I personally know that were abused, the thing that really stings them, the thing that holds on, is not as much what was done to them, but what, the lies they were forced to tell, the collateral damage, the things they said to people who weren't true. Because then when you leave the abusive relationship, there has to be a moment that, you come clean with your friends and let them know you were lying to them. And I've had conversations with very dear friends of mine of late where it's like, look, man, I understand why you did it. It's okay. And then I have conversations with another guy who's like, yeah, people keep telling me it's okay, but it doesn't feel okay. I just still feel like I'm disappointing everybody. And I said, well, maybe you're not allowing yourself to feel disappointed, and that feeling is coming around you, indirectly. And it was a really cool moment because the guy was like, just when I think I understand my brain. It was a cool, there are a lot of cool breakthroughs, but I'll tell you, I've been doing a lot of running around my kitchen and playing loud music this week because of these moments where, guys have finally been able to talk to somebody about things they've been carrying around for decades and, have this, and you did because this, yeah. And because this, yeah. And somebody gets it. And it's like a moment, but then I've apologized to them and said, if you're noticing me angry, it's not at you. I'm angry at what people did to you. And I figure I'm just if I'm honest about that, it's best because that anger's real. And, that comment about men I know are exceptional at problem solving, I have had to step way back on being a fixer. But obviously, with this kind of work, I am looking on not fixing. And do guys want people to fix things for them? Because I know that that's a thing with women is I want you to just listen to me. I don't want you to fix my problem. Do men want people to fix their problems? Or do they want to be the fixer or both? I'm asking because I don't fit neatly into either category. So let me get on to another comment. In my opinion, men have a unique difficulty from their healing from their female abusers because in large part, society does not see what the abusers do is abusive. When men are abusive, society is sometimes too quick to label them with a black mark, rightly so when it's true. When a woman is abusive, the narratives can bend in the most amazing ways. Just telling my own story, I've gotten the "you must have liked it, sounds like a fun time to me. Why would she hit you first? She was probably defending herself. Of course, she lied to the police. She was scared." And all other sorts of justifications for why a woman couldn't have been an abuser. It's the commonality of these kinds of attitudes that kept me silent for over 20 years, and it saddens me to see them so widespread today. If no one else takes some of your deepest wounds seriously, you're just left feeling like a broken person for thinking these wounds are serious. And that's profound, man. And the truth is that as much as we see stuff in the media that seems sympathetic to women, trust me, women have their own things. Like, people just in general don't tend to be believed right away. I've seen some shit, right? Because it's happened to me when I've tried to talk about things. People with all the performative, believe women, abuse is wrong, all that stuff. You tell them something happened to you and it's someone they know. Oh, all of a sudden, different story, right? All of a sudden it's, oh, you must have done something. Oh, you must be exaggerating. Oh, it couldn't be that bad. Oh, don't ruin his life. And it's just like, and those are the people I actually get the most angry at because I take a lot of hits for publicly saying, no, sometimes women do lie. You have to give everybody a hearing. You have to give everybody a benefit of the doubt. But if a story starts to sound sus, it's sus. And that's true for everyone, right? I am open to believing everyone when they say what they've been through. But I do not turn off my brain and just ignore or remove obvious something's not right here. And that is because you guys know I used to do feminist content about just in general and with games. And if anybody wonders why I stopped and moved on to men's issues, I just felt like I could do more good here. There's a need here. There's plenty of people bullshitting about bullshit feminism and bullshit theory about games. Not that I was bullshitting, but you know what I mean? I'm just bitter. I can do something here. People, you guys actually are open. Whereas the gaming establishment isn't. More on that in a bit. But because I've studied and because I've read and because I know my history, one of the things at the Seneca Falls Convention that the first wave of feminists in the US and Britain wanted is equal responsibility for crimes under the law. They didn't like the idea that a woman was considered less culpable in a crime if it was committed with her husband or male family member. And they didn't want that because, well, that means women aren't adults. They understood the domino effect there. And that was one of the things they didn't get in the first wave. And then somehow people who haven't studied their history and haven't done their reading think they can fly the flag of feminism and not acknowledge that those early activists who did shit when it was really hard wanted that. And you don't have to agree, I do, but at least understand why. Because they didn't want to be treated as adult children. And so often the world still treats women as adult children. And some of you might be sitting here thinking, oh, I must be nice. But trust me, when you want a leadership position, or you want to do things that are hard, or you want to be seen as your opinion equally valid based on logic, that totally goes against you. And I mean, who's going to vote? Well, okay, after that Trump town hall on Wednesday, this is going to be ironic, but who's going to vote for somebody who seems so stunted that they're still a child well into adulthood? Like, that's my issue with Trump, quite frankly. He just seems like a big baby, either pouting or throwing a tantrum. And I watched all the damn deposition stuff on the E. Jean Carroll case because I wanted to make up my own mind, right? And he lied through his fucking teeth. But see, I say when I believe someone, so that when in those rare cases where I don't, it's not, oh, you just hate women. I get that anyway, but I don't care. And other comments talked about the fact that, about that, there's this thing, and I know it's a Manosphere thing, but I want to address it because there is some truth to it. Like I said, I call them like I see it. This idea that the same behavior is seen as charming from a man, you know, the example that I hear all the time is Henry Cavill, is charming from him and creepy if a regular looking dude does it. And I had to notice that is true sometimes. Because for me, it's not, because, I mean, okay, Henry Cavill's cool because he's a PC gamer, right? I will put up with a lot more because of that. But it's not because of how he looks. It's not because of how charming he allegedly is. It's just, it's kind of cool, you know? But still, bad behavior is bad behavior. And I really had to watch, because I don't do that. I can't say across the board, no, women don't do that. Some do. Some are shallow. Women are individuals. Some women are good people. Some women are bad people. The same way some men are good people and some men are bad people. And some non-binary people are good people and some non-binary people are bad people. And gender apathetic asses like me are the same way. You know, so on and so forth. Whatever you want to categorize, some are good, some are bad. That's real simple. Why do we fucking complicate it? Because of narratives. And this is why we do two women talking, to show, no, women don't all think alike. We don't all like the same thing. We don't all come at things the same way. And the whole purpose of the show is for, you know, the tomboy to be valid. The girly girl must also be valid. And I mean, that's why I think it's cool when a guy like Henry Cavill does a thing where he's doing like building a PC, or he's open about loving Warhammer 40K, because he's taken some of the stigma off that stuff. Let's face it, right? There are women who are legitimately attracted to different types of guys. I had a guy say to me this week, I love that you say you prefer the Tom Holland type of guy, because I am that kind of guy. Thank you. It made me feel seen and appreciated. Yeah, that's why I do it. Um, but more seriously, part of the reason that I don't weigh in on certain controversies in the games industry anymore, like a lot of people have asked me about the Kotaku Nintendo thing. And I try to be objective about things. And in so many of these, I mean, I'll real talk on Twitch because it's Twitch, right? And unless somebody clips something, it's gone in 2 weeks. I do that deliberately. I do not want the stuff I say on Twitch to be on the internet forever. I don't think that's right. But more and more, I just accumulated so many bad experiences with so many of these companies. And my experiences aren't the world. Other people can have really great experiences with certain companies. Mine were terrible. I was at a Twitch event last Saturday and I was talking to somebody, pretty high up person at Twitch. And they were saying that they're starting to come around, that people with small audiences are worth investing in. And one of the companies that came up is starting to get it was EA. And I said, oh, EA's finally coming around, are they? And the person was like, I don't know what your experiences were with them, but mine were okay. Obviously, they heard it about that company. Yeah, that's one ongoing, like, unreal shitty treatment. When I had to wait an extra half hour beyond my pre-booked appointment time for something Dragon Age, because Felicia fucking Day got to jump the line whenever she showed up and take someone else's spot. I'm sorry. There's fucking resentment there, and that's valid. And especially since Felicia Day is a creation of Joss fucking Whedon, when are we going to talk about that? Nothing against her, but she came up because of him. That's just fact. And I'm not saying that she didn't make her own relationships and she hasn't earned it ever since, but it is what it is. That's problematic, right? Another outlet, another entity that I have had zero good experiences with was Kotaku. Kotaku is the source of one of the most unbelievably bullshit sexist experiences I have ever had in gaming, right? Gaming overall is pretty good compared to other industries. I stand by that. That doesn't mean bad shit doesn't happen. It's just worse happened to me in comics and television. It's been real. But yeah, a very high-placed person at Kotaku who is no longer there, is now working for a major American newspaper. Yeah, made an excuse instead of saying to me, look, we just can't cover Lady Bits. We can't. You don't have to give me a reason. Just we're going to pass. The guy said to me, well, your videos are long and I have a newborn. And no woman would be able to go, your videos are so long and I've got a kid and it's hard. Math is hard, okay? Half-hour videos are super long and it's like, dude, I read your coverage of 2-hour Anita Sarkeesian seminars. Give me a fucking break. It's a limited series. You don't have to watch everything I've ever made. Just, what was it? Like 13 half-hour videos? That is not, that, you review games. That's not that long, but your videos are long. No woman would be able, we would be called unprofessional if we were said, I can't do my job. I have to take care of my newborn. Fuck that guy. And fuck a whole bunch of other things they've done. So does entitled unprofessional behavior from Kotaku surprise me? No. But I get in trouble. You can get flagged for bullying on YouTube if you say some of the things that I say. And communities from channels that allegedly are pro women have flagged me in the past for bullying because I said, I'm not gonna, but some days I really want to about certain things, you know? I'm not advocating it. I'm not, and you guys are great about not going after people. I am so fucking validated. The most supportive things you guys can do is not participate in that harassment shit. You guys play it cool and you say, we support you. You do not go after people for other opinions. And I am so grateful to you guys for having that restraint and not participating in this. Because I know some of y'all are shitlords and you would, but you don't out of respect for me. And I really appreciate that. And so I don't believe there's any excuse for any other content creator to use their audience as a personal army. That's bullshit. But we allow it. And part of the reason they do it is it gets you attention and it gets you traction and the drama gets you traffic. But I can't justify the collateral damage to myself. And so I know you guys like it when I come on here and go real talk. I just don't. Sometimes I stand by it. The things I've said in this video, I stand by. Because even if YouTube flags me, I stand by because it's true. And because it contextualizes why I don't talk about this stuff much anymore. I care more about you guys and the average person who puts their hard-earned money into games than I do about traffic or clout or riding the algorithm. That sounds really rude, but anything like that. The reason I do so much mental health content now is I care more about people's ability to feel that there are some people in the goddamn world that aren't pieces of crap. And that's more important, you know? And the stuff we're building, the dialogue we have, the fact that people can feel supported and finally feel heard, you know? I'd rather do that for 12 people than have millions of hate watchers, you know? And so that's why I don't talk about that stuff, because I don't like remembering that stuff all the time, because then I get bitter and then I feel like I let you guys down. And it's not good. It's not good for me to just be back in remembering all the shitty things that various entities in this industry have done, because still, like I said, it's still better. I've met so many good people through gaming, and I've gotten so much support from you guys. I'd rather focus on that. And when I start thinking about a place like Kotaku or like EA, I start getting angry and I start feeling bitter. And I don't want to, because I can't change that happened. And every time I talk about it, somebody goes, oh, well, you must have done something wrong. Remember what I said about people aren't believed? Yeah, I know what happened. And that's all that matters. And the facts, the truth is not up for debate regarding those things. Because it doesn't matter. I can't do anything about those people. The people that hire them, the people in mainstream newspapers, they don't give a shit that they're benevolent sexists, right? They just say the right things and they get jobs because they've got the contacts, and they got those contacts because guys like them would only deal with other guys like them. And at a time in the gaming industry, there were way more guys like that than there are now. And that's where my distrust of, you know, male left-wingers or male feminists came from. Is they talked a good game and then froze women out so that only guys like them could move up through connections and contacts, and they're the ones that get contacted when the leaks happen. I don't believe in reporting leaks, by the way. I think that's not fair. I can talk about that later if anybody's interested. But that's why I don't talk about those things, because it's not my best self. I'm not my best self when this stuff comes up. I'm not impartial. I actually think these companies still have too many bad people in them. And I don't know if that's true. That's an emotional response, not a factual one. I can't prove that. So I'll only say that it's in this context, saying that's how I feel, but I can't prove it, right? And I said I think, not I feel, because, I still know some names there. And if those people are still getting ahead, well, not much has changed. So I'm interested in your comments on this stuff. Like, do you guys think I should talk about it anyway? Let me know. And there'll be more updates next week. For now, help support this channel. Become a monthly patron, patreon.com/LeannaK. Or you can continue to be super ridiculously generous like you guys have been, buying Leanna Care sessions for people who can use them but can't afford them. There are memberships where you can sponsor someone monthly as well on my Ko-fi page, ko-fi.com/LeannaK. And otherwise, I was going to say until then, that wouldn't make any sense. I'm tired. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and you guys are awesome. Thanks. Bye.